What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Boy, do I have a good episode for you guys today. This is honestly one of my favorite parts of the whole game, and I am very excited to play this again. It is that time of year, and I got that tingling feeling. This next cutscene is honestly one of my favorite cutscenes in gaming history, so sit back, enjoy, and let's go get to the Tower of Ashal. Great atmosphere.
The plan will work, Your Majesty.
Of course it will. The Blight ends here.
Imagine looking out into the woods at that, in the middle of a storm. Attaboy. There's the big horned thing we heard about earlier.
Archers! For Ferelden!
I love that cutscene so much. The music and the atmosphere is all 10 out of 10. Get my ass hyped up.
Let's cross the bridge and get to the Tower of Ishal.
Indeed. While they're fighting their fight down there, we got our own job to do. Let's scot-free and safe up here. The Darkspawn got trebuchets. Kind of try and ease my way up here so we don't get hit by those. You totally can get hit by those. And while the battle goes on down there, we gotta go get ready to light this beacon for Cailin. Get our Warden brothers some backup.
You're Grey Wardens, aren't you? The tower, it's been taken.
What are you talking about, man? Taken how?
The Darkspawn came up through the lower chambers. They're everywhere. Most of our men are dead.
Then we have to get to the beacon and light it ourselves.
The lower chambers that Loghain was supposed to be securing. That's why it was closed off, right? We now finally have our first version of a mage in our party. So, right away. This guy has flame weapons, and I know that, so he's gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, target rank Elite Ohio will do weakness. Enemy rank Elite Ohio. What else does he have? He has paralyzed, which is huge. We're definitely gonna be doing that. And then does he have a heal? No, he has herbalism, but he doesn't have a heal. He has paralyzed arcane shield. Flame Blast and Arcane Ball. What do we want for the last one? Flame Blast does too much friendly fire. We're on Nightmare, so that's not going to be good. Lightning could work. Maybe rank normal or higher, and then we'll have him use Lightning. A lot of things are weak to Lightning. Put him on range, so he doesn't like go charging into the battle too much. That should be good. And since that's at the bottom, he should prioritize these if there's an elite. Okay. There's our flame weapons. That is only applying to our main hand, interestingly. I like how when you have flame weapons, that literally just sets the dog on fire. He is the weapon. I mean, he is a fucking unit, look at him. Let's get a first taste of deep combo here. Hopefully Alistair can do his job of aggro pull. There's our dog's war cry that we picked up last episode. You see how effective that is, especially when you're a rogue. It just enables you to do things like this. You just go ahead and get in and auto attack city. That's his ass. Wouldn't know, Alistair. And we thought we wouldn't get the fight. We thought we were glorified torchbearers up here.
Show me what you got.
Got our own little Battle of Ostagar going on. It's interesting that the Darkspawn managed to get up from the lower chambers and catch everybody by surprise, considering the reason the Tower of Eshal was closed off to us when we first got here was that Teyrn Loghain sealed the tower to secure the lower chambers. It seems like they did a piss poor job, given that this entire east side of Ostagar is overrun by Darkspawn.
As you wish.
Does kind of make you wonder. It seems like such an obvious issue too. Like, oh, there's lower chambers that lead to the deep roads. We're about to battle Darkspawn. Maybe you wanna blow it up, collapse the tunnel. Any kind of thing like that. Let's see if we can save anybody up here. Gotta try and at least save who we can save, right? It doesn't look like we're gonna be able to. Good boy. I love that ability. I actually have never kept the Mabari in my party for a very long time. I've never done a full run with the Mabari as a mainstay. I wonder how good Dog holds up. He has some interesting like AoE stuns. I'd be curious to see how good he actually does late game. Stun his ass. Some backsteps. Wind Blade should kill him. And the alpha is down. With a clean beheading. This guy's next. Nice. Huge. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how well Dog actually holds up late game. I've never used him end game, aside from the ones where you kind of have to, but
Let's get started.
I think you could do some interesting things with the Dog party build. Yeah, we'll mess around with that at some point during this playthrough. We'll take him into some encounters, see how he does. If it goes terribly wrong, we can always reload and do it the easy way, right?
This should be easy enough.
All I know right now is his little dread owl right there is clapping everybody. So anybody who plays on PC, this game does have some stability issues. I would recommend saving the game before you go through this door, because it can just straight up crash your game sometimes. Especially if you play on higher graphical settings. Hopefully we're all good. Indeed we are. Alright, so this encounter, here's what we're gonna do. Immediately, we're gonna tell everybody to hold position. We're gonna select Alistair since he is the resident tank. We're gonna move him forward alone. We're gonna bring him through here. Do not hit that tripwire, there's a trap right there. And then we're gonna bring Alistair all the way back behind here. And what you're gonna see is that's gonna bring their ass to us instead of us walking directly into an ambush. We're gonna bring them to us.
Oh no, you don't!
Now everybody can move.
Let's get started.
He casts weakness and paralyze on the mage. Which reminds me, one thing I didn't do that I need to do. Damn, my dog's going home. He chased the shit out of him. We need to put the Mabari Crunch on our dog. Because he can't take regular healing potions. He can only take Mabari Crunch. So, what is this? You have Dread Howl up. 3 archers. What are you doing? You are chasing him. Here. You stop chasing the mage. This guy's almost dead, so that's not a huge problem. Keeping an eye on the health bars. You know, I thought my companions would have set that off. Right, you take the Mabari Crunch. You're gonna cast Arcane Bolt. I think you're already attacking the Emissary, but we'll see.
Time for a little cleanup.
Might go down here. Mage ended up getting dropped too. Saved our dog with the stone right there. It looks like he went ahead and killed the emissary for us, so. I'm hoping Alistair won't die. Prefer not to use the health potion. Okay, that was a little sloppy, but we got it done. Gotta use some injury kits, but we got through. What I should have done is paid more attention to that tripwire back there, and I should have pulled the dog and the mage back. I got a little complacent there because of how well things were going. If I had pulled them back, I think that would have been a lot cleaner, but still, you get the general concept, right?
As you wish.
You gotta lure them back there, and it makes your world a lot easier. Since that might happen often with specifically dogging this mage since he's so squishy. We'll put the injury kits on the quick bars. That way if that happens again, we can just have the bar real fast. There's actually a lot of openable chests in this tower, so I'm actually pretty glad we picked Rogue. We'd be missing a lot of XP if we hadn't. Alright, now I'm gonna give these guys a second to get up because there is a flank that can come behind you here. You see? You gotta be careful with these assholes. Many a time have they killed my mage. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the mage back there. Alistair is gonna shield bash him. And my dog is gonna use Dread Howl. Beautiful. So the problem with Alistair not having a taunt right now is that I'm taking way more aggro than I would like to be. The aggro mechanics in this game go based off a couple things. They go based off the damage you do, the weight of your character, and then abilities. So as I'm just sitting here, you know, chopping that wood, just laying out the lore with the DPS, I'm constantly pulling aggro. Without a taunt ability for him, it's gonna make things very difficult for Alistair to maintain it without his ability. We're gonna make him go save that mage real fast. Me and the dog should be able to handle this. Okay, that was good. That was clean. I just had to get my shit together a little with the micromanagement. Dreadhowl is going hard too. I'm on Nightmare, so the enemies have enhanced resistances to my bullshit. But it's actually working really well. This AoE stone is popping off. It even clipped the genlock that was trying to come through the door on the flanks, so that worked out really well. Think we missed anything. You see here, this is where the Darkspawn came from. I don't know if this was here already or they just borrowed up as a surprise, but again, you would think certain parts of this tower would have been secured more competently, especially given the importance of this. Like, the beacon is the signal for the reinforcements to charge. They don't charge, everyone's ass is grass, including the king. Okay. You're gonna Dreadhowl. You're gonna go save the mage again. You're actually gonna move forward. I'm gonna rip the flank on the genlock. Beautiful. No pay knows any mind, so we are gonna get those free backstabs. Wunderbar. And the last asshole should be light work. Easy. Yeah, we got quite the battle on our hands. We were worried about just carrying a candle for Caelan. It looks like we might be able to sneak a level out too by the time we get to the end of the tower. Which, by the way, I did do some background research, and the stat lethality, or an ability rather, that does not enable you to equip items, so we do need to level our strength. So I'm going to start pumping our strength up a little to around 20 is the goal, and then strength becomes a dumpster. But I did misspeak at the start of the game when I said you didn't need that for lethality. I was incorrect.
Maker's breath. What are these Darkspawn doing ahead of the rest of the Horde? There wasn't supposed to be any resistance here.
Weren't you complaining that you wouldn't get to fight?
Hey, you're right. I guess there is a silver lining here if you think about it. At any rate, we need to hurry. We need to get up to the top of the tower and light the signal fire in time. Teyrn Loghain will be waiting for the signal.
Indeed, what did our brother Fergus say at the start of the game? So many Darkspawn to behead, so little time. We're in a competition with him like Gimli. I want to see how many people who gets the most kill count by the end. I'm sure he's out there in the wild somewhere slaughtering Darkspawn. If he's trained half as well as we actually were, then he should be A-okay. The beauty of dual weapon sweep is did the Darkspawn close the door behind me? No, he locked me in the closet. It's crazy. Yeah, the beauty of dual weapon sweep is the AoE effects that you can get out of that. Rogue doesn't have that much. Rogue is a lot of single target damage. So any kind of AoE attack like that is very useful. Love it when you get a decapitation. Spin to win. So, you see these assholes right here. You kind of see them lurking back there. I would recommend coming up here. It also might be worth dropping a save actually real fast, just in case. So that is a bad time. But we do have, along with Codex, we have some ballistas up here. You can be a little cheeky. Alright, so here's the deal. You're all gonna hold your position.
Let's get started.
And now we drew the line up. Now we attack. Dog, I don't know where you're going, but we're not doing that. Then the enemies in front of those crews. We can let Alistair go fuck on the archers a little. I'm not so worried about Alistair running off because he has all the heavy plate mail, so I'm not super concerned about Alistair dying to this, but the mage and our dog, I absolutely am. And me, actually. These archers will, when you're a rogue, the archery spam like this, that will fuck your day up if you let it, so you gotta be careful with that. The archers can and will rock your shit. You saw me die to that in the Kakari Wilds, actually. Got a little cheeky there with the ballistas, though. Take some of the edge off. Yeah, you gotta be very careful with, I would say, first things first, like I said before, priority-wise is mage. If there's a mage, you kill it, because that's gonna be what's gonna kill you. And then after that, I would say archers. And then just make sure that Alistair is kind of doing his job as a tank, protecting the squishies of the party, that kind of stuff.
Let's get started.
Eventually, when he has his taunt abilities, none of this is going to be so scary. Stun them. Why take damage, right? Yeah, when he has his taunt, it's going to be way easier and you won't have to worry about stuff. Everything is just going to be attacking him at all times, essentially. Definitely what you want. You see, we lost that mage there. I would actually be interested in watching that back and seeing how you died, because most of the things were stunned and there was one archer left. But that's why we put the injury kits on the ability bar. I did figure that he would be dying a couple times. We actually got to be careful with him. If he wasn't here, this would be way harder. The flame weapons is actually a significant buff, and his paralyze and weakness ability is doing a lot of unsung hero work. I believe this is the Kennel fight.
Loghain better be ready to charge as soon as we light the signal. The king is depending on us.
Agreed. We're already going to be late thanks to the fighting, so we got to get this beacon lit as soon as possible. So there's a little sneaky ambush here, actually. So what we are going to do is we're going to hold everybody's position again. We're going to send Alistair a little forward, and then we're going to pull him back. And bring the chuckleheads forward. Let everybody move now. Then we're going to bring Dog in. He's going to pop Dreadhowl. Stun does. Impressive. You gotta take a health potion. You see how the archers are kind of like rocking our world right now? Okay. I don't want to use a big health potion. But if I don't, I think I actually might die. We're gonna sit here for a second.
Right.
Let Alistair take some of that heat for us. Wonderful, wonderful. And we gotta level up the dog. We're almost there ourselves, actually. We almost gotta level up too. Right. We will go ahead and hit that level up here in a sec. Take a little look-see, make sure we didn't miss anything. Alright, dog, what have you got for you? I think I'll just, honestly, I think I'll just keep going straight, strength. He needs a little bit of willpower here and there so that he can keep popping his sustains, but I'm not noticing having difficulty with this. Maybe in a drawn-out fight, the 10 willpower would be a problem, but typically if you don't notice you yourself needing something, you probably shouldn't waste the points on it, right? Here's the Kennel fight. So what are you gonna do here is you're gonna ignore most of this and immediately hit this cage release. That's gonna bring the local Mabari out to help you. Now the Genlock Alpha is back there. He's already going to have some fun with that. Duke is actually stunned. Okay, you're gonna pop Dread Howl. Do what we can here to get the alpha dud. And we got it. They're all dead. Okay, that is the kennel fight done really easily. Almost there, almost to the tower. We gotta get a move on for Cailin. I don't know how the battle's going down there, but it looked like it could have easily become a shit show, so... Okay, here again, there's a sneaky little ambush here, so what I would recommend doing is pull everybody into the back of this room. We're gonna save his Dread Howl. The mage is not listening to us, so we're gonna move him. Move him ourselves. Once they all start to flood in, then we're gonna use the Dread Howl.
Weapons at the ready.
Yeah, that Genlock's ass is gross. Bring around for a flank on this. Flank the Berserk. And now in general, this should be vastly easier. Come on, hit me with the shield. So, let's have him do Growl. It's not going to be a huge factor in this fight, but he has the ability up, so... Take a Dogborn too. Yeah, like using an injury kit on him right now. Speaking of using injury kits, you are crazy. Why are you 1v1 in an archer right now? And he died because he aggroed the archer. But it doesn't matter, we won. On your feet, mage. They sent the Circle's B team. You are costing me injury kits, my friend. Thankfully, we are the richest Grey Warden in Theta's history with like 400 sovereigns. It's actually probably true. Wardens don't have much in the way of wealth. It's not that kind of order. There we go. Yeah, sometimes making them hold position and move position and then hold, it can make their movement get a little fucky. That's just something to take note of. We have a problem. We have a huge inventory space problem, actually. Uh-oh. It's only a lesser nature salve. It's not the end of the world, I suppose, but... Considering we have more loot to get in the tower, we're gonna have to start dismantling things. I should have made a bigger trip to our quartermaster. Let's clean some of this up. Get rid of the acid flasks, we don't need those. Don't need the coating. Venom we're gonna keep. Spirit Bomb, Nothing Burger. Frozen Lightning can go. The Grease Trap can go, we don't really need that. That gave us 5 slots. And just dismantle things as we need. I don't want to go overboard. We're almost done here with the tower, so we're not going to be that pressed for space. Alright, dog, come on down. Now that you're here, you're going to Dread Howl. Dual weapon sweep to finish him off. Swing around for the flank on the Hurlock. Quick stun. And that's his ass. Okay. Now it is time for the big bad boss. We are gonna need to dismantle a couple more things, it seems. What do we have to get rid of? The salve can go. Keep the private documents for now, at least. I've never had so much inventory space issue here. You have some war paint. +4 damage against beasts. Let me see your war face. Oh, longbow, longbow. These bolts can go. Fire arrows can go. We got 4 slots. Now, definitely recommend saving before you go through this door. Because this fight has the potential to be real fucking interesting. We'll see how this goes. Right, you see, this could be a problem. Paralyzed off the rip. Hope that works. Alistair, you do overpower. Dog, you growl. Then we'll just hope for the best. Our mage friend is in a little bit of trouble here. Trying to be cheeky.
Stay still.
Okay, now that he's aggroed somewhere else. Have him use weakness. You have third and up, so you're fine. I wonder if Dreadhowl will work on you. It will not. The mage is going to be in a world of pain if he keeps aggroing this guy.
Let's make this quick.
What we're going to be trying to do here, I'm sorry, I know you can't really see. We're kind of just playing Ring Around the Rosie with him until he leaves us alone. The intent there is just that we want him to live. Because he has a potential to do things like that, which is fucking huge, and now we just need to burn him. And that's the game. And we get the cool slow motion action finisher. No, don't get up. Let's go. You know, there was a time. There was a time where if I did not get that finisher, and I wasn't the one that got the final blow on him, I would reload the game. I would totally do that. Me and my brother, actually, we would both do that. We would both get salty if one of our party members and not us got the final blow on that. Because it just looks so cool. Like, of course you want to be the one. Demonic Ichor, that can go, because I actually want the tribal necklace. That is a gift. Gifts are useful approval boosts for your companions, and we also did get a level up, so also good. Right, let's see. We already have 28 dex, which is huge, so we're just gonna go 2 strength. I suppose ultimately it doesn't really matter what we do here. 29 dex, I could get 1 more into willpower. The magic, I could, but like... Magic is the measure of the character's natural affinity for the arcane. This attribute is crucial for mages since it directly increases the character's spell power score, which determines the potency of all magic. Of all spells, sorry. The magic attribute also determines how effective potions, poultices, and salves are for all classes. So I could justify making this... Yeah, let's just so they're all even numbers. Oh, and I did need expert combat training, I do recall. And now we have momentum. Beautiful. This is a sustain, so the upkeep is 60, so we actually might need to start upping our willpower here soon. The character has learned to carry one attack through to the next, increasing attack speed and substantially. This mode consumes stamina quickly, however. We're gonna definitely take momentum. Momentum will be very good for us. Alright, let's light this beacon. Let's go get the king of the reinforcements he needs.
Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
Now, there are 1,000 potential motivations for that decision, and I can't justify a single one of them other than cowardice and treachery. Duncan and Cailin giving him help. King of Ferelden. And in his final moments, he knew they were betrayed. He went out like a G, though. At least Cailin died before he knew he'd been stabbed in the back. Man, that's a dicey one.
Ah, your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
Trying to divine a motivation for Loghain's actions there is very difficult. Did he think the battle was lost and they would have all died? Is that a play for power? Did he just not like King Cailin? The Wardens were trying to push for the Orlesian Wardens to come help. Did he want to get rid of the Wardens? If that's the case, he's a fool because of the Darkspawn. Wardens are needed to defeat that. That action is... If he's doing that in the name of Ferelden, then he is destroying Ferelden in the name of Ferelden. It's one thing to usurp a king. If that's a play for power, that's one thing. But to actively try and wipe out the Wardens during a blight, unless he just doesn't take that seriously, he doesn't believe it's a blight. But how could you not when you look at the battlefield and you see that coming through the woods? It's very hard to figure out his motivations for that without just calling him a power-hungry monster. Even given all his histories. And we'll get more as the game progresses, but trying to figure out why he did that. There's 1,000 different answers you can go to, and I guess we'll try and figure that out as we go through the game and read more and learn more. I remember you, the girl from the wilds.
I am Morrigan, lest you have forgotten, and we are in the wilds where I am bandaging your wounds. You are welcome, by the way. How does your memory fare? Do you remember Mother's rescue?
I remember being overwhelmed by Darkspawn.
Mother managed to save you and your friend, though 'twas a close call. What is important is that you both live. The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
I am not surprised he's not taking it well. My friend, you mean Alistair?
The suspicious dim-witted one who was with you before, yes. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
Suspicious dim-witted one. Why does your mother want to see me?
I do not know. She rarely tells me her plans.
Were my injuries severe?
Yes, but I expect you shall be fine. The Darkspawn did nothing Mother could not heal.
What about Alistair? Is he alright?
He is, as you are. I suppose it would be unkind to say he is being childish.
Very unkind. Those were his friends.
And you think they would encourage his blubbering? If so, they are not the sort of Grey Wardens the legends note.
It's a fair point, but, I mean... He's a new recruit warden. A moment to grieve can be afforded, surely. I have some questions, if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Are we safe here? Where are the Darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the Darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The Horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
Why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
I happen to be nobility, you know.
I stand corrected.
How did she manage to rescue us, exactly?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
I actually, believe the truth is not that far from that, but I do not think it was a bird she turned into. Are there any survivors besides us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Why? What's happening?
Are you sure you want me to describe it?
Yes. Please.
I had a good view of the battlefield. 'Tis a grisly scene. There are bodies everywhere, and Darkspawn swarm them, feeding, I think. They also look for survivors and drag them back down beneath the ground. I cannot say why.
We will, figure some of that out much, much later in the game, actually. Something they've tried to shy away from very harshly since the first game, but we'll see it nonetheless. Why did Teyrn Loghain abandon the king?
I do not know who this Loghain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
That is likely true.
Let's get started.
Yeah, there's a lot of darkness involved in what goes on down in the deep roads that we'll get a lot on later. I wonder how the Warden longbow actually compares to the longbow that I currently have on. We'll check that a little later. I would like to loot up this chest. What can I get rid of here? There's nothing actually that I really want to drop. Metal shot can go. I'm not creating any traps. I am like fighting for my life here with the inventory space. Let's go and talk to Alistair. See how he's holding up.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
I'm not, thanks to Morrigan's mother.
Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Yeah,
Do
it took a
not
lot
talk
of
about
arrows.
me as if I am not present,
It took,
lad.
what, 4 or 5 arrows
I
to the
didn't
chest?
mean- But what do we call you?
Hell of a healer.
You never told us your name.
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
No, you will recognize the name Flemeth from the Codex episodes where we read about Flemeth and Conabar. If that is for the Flemeth of legend, like he said, she's very old and very powerful, which is why I was saying I'm sure the bird on the rooftop is not that far from the truth, though I suspect it was a dragon, not a bird. If you're Flemeth, you must be very old and powerful.
Must I? Age and power are relative. It depends on who is asking. Compared to you, yes, on both counts.
Then why didn't you save Duncan? He was our leader.
I am sorry for your Duncan, but your grief must come later. In the dark shadows before you take vengeance, as my mother once said. Duty must come now. It has always been the Grey Wardens'
true.
duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
The land is hardly united, thanks to Loghain.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would he do it?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The archdemon.
What is this archdemon exactly?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by Darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
Alistair is the real Grey Warden here, not me. Actually, we're not going to say that. We are going to say we should contact the rest of the Grey Wardens.
Cailin already summoned them. They'll come if they can, but I expect Loghain has already taken steps to stop them. We must assume they won't arrive in time.
What could the Teyrn hope to gain by betraying the king?
The throne? He's the Queen's father. Still, I can't see how he'll get away with murder.
You speak as if he would be the first king to gain his throne that way. Grow up, boy.
Correct.
Al-Eamon knew what he did. He would never stand for it. The Landsmeet would never stand for it. There would be civil war.
Well, I'm sure he's not going to go back and tell him exactly the truth of what happened. There's no way he goes back to Redcliffe and he's like, yeah, well, you see, what happened was I just decided to walk away and leave them all to be butchered. He's not going to say that. He's going to spin some kind of story. What story he spins is yet to be seen, but... Al-Eamon, the Earl of Redcliffe.
I suppose. Al-Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Cailan's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet.
That is also interesting to note too, is that all the nobles that went to the Battle of Ostagar, they all lost men. So a lot of the noble houses, like Hyaver for example, we were going to Ostagar with most of our men. So all the noble houses that went to Ostagar are all weakened right now. But Loghain kept all of his men because he pulled out, so he also has the largest force in Ferelden currently. He has positioned himself in a very powerful spot. Surely there are other allies we could call on.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Al-Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
I doubt it will be as easy as that.
And when is it ever?
That's
It's
true.
always been the Grey Warden's duty to stand against a blight. And right now, we're the Grey Wardens.
So you are set then. ready to be Grey Wardens.
Yes, thank you for everything, Flemeth.
No, thank you. You are the Grey Wardens here, not I. Now, before you go, there is yet one more thing I can offer you.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears. Ha ha!
Thank you, but if Morrigan doesn't wish to join us...
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the Horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Was this your idea all along?
Pardon me, but I had the impression that you two needed assistance, whatever the form.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
It's a very
Mother.
valid point.
This is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite Ferelden against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
Understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
I understand.
Allow me to get my things, if you please.
She seems so thrilled.
I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. It is not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice
Yeah,
is yours.
I will definitely not look a gift mage in the mouth, especially not the daughter of the Witch of the Wilds. That sounds like a very strong ally. Actually, let's see. No, I prefer you speak your mind.
Haha, you will regret saying that.
Dear, sweet mother, you are so kind to cast me out like this. How fondly I shall remember this moment.
Well, I always said, if you want something done, do it yourself. Or hear about it for a decade or two afterwards.
Do you really want to take her along because her mother says so?
I'm not really interested in a yes man of a companion. I much prefer they all speak their minds. I'm open to opinions and having my mind changed after all. We need all the help we can get.
I guess you're right. The Grey Wardens have always taken allies where they could find them.
I am so pleased to have your approval.
Actually, I have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
The banter between Morrigan and Alistair is 10 out of 10. It's some of the highest tier content in this game. Are you really Flemeth's daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
It's just difficult to imagine her.
Young? Married? Pregnant? Who said she was any of these things? I certainly did not.
That's not ominous at all as to how she got you then. Have you never been outside of the wilds?
From time to time. I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
Is that what you want?
What I want is to see mountains. I wish to witness the ocean and step into its waters. I want to experience a city rather than see it in my mind. So, yes, this is what I want. Actually, leaving is harder than I thought, however. Perhaps Mother is right. It must simply be done quickly.
Tell me about this village to the north.
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your Imperial Highway where travelers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
Yeah, I believe these two are pretty crafty. Is there any reason to go to Lothern then?
I mention it for its tavern, where travelers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
I think she's probably right about that. It's a good source of any kind of information, rumors. Get the general lay of the land. We've been unconscious for, what, a couple days now, I think? She had mentioned, so... Whatever has happened since then, Loghain has certainly started to make whatever play he was going to make. Lothern would be a nice, quiet place to catch up on all that. Are we going to get past the Darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
Interesting. I don't sense any Darkspawn.
You won't right away. No. It takes time. We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
The Darkspawn are camped farther in the forest.
They come from underground, like an eruption. They broke through deep within the forest, and that is where they will be most concentrated.
What skills do you have exactly?
I know a few spells, though
couple.
I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Ay. Never mind him, you don't have to cook.
You missed your chance. Now it's charred rabbit from here on out.
I have no more questions.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the Blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Alright, and this was a long one, but that is that for this episode. I'm going to wrap here, guys, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I will see you guys next time with more Dragon Age Origins. Have a good day, guys. Take care.